risk-based thinking. If you're thinking about ISO 9001 certification, or really any ISO certification, you've probably heard this term. But what is risk-based thinking? Why does it matter for ISO certification? And how can it help you, right now, optimize your business? Hello, I'm Jonathan, and welcome to Core Business Solutions. We are ISO experts helping small businesses across America. In this video, we'll answer all those questions and stick around until the end for some helpful free resources. Risk-based thinking became a major part of ISO in 2015. That's when ISO 9001 underwent its most recent major revision. This version of the standard made risk assessment a formal part of the quality management system, or QMS for short. Every part of the QMS involves risk in some way. The 2015 version of ISO 9001 challenges companies to be proactive, mitigating risks up front instead of reacting afterward and scrambling to deal with unintended consequences. So let's look at two foundational concepts, risks and opportunities. We usually think about risk as purely negative. We think about all the potential negative consequences, but that's only half the picture. The effects of a risk can also be positive. And this makes sense, right? Think about the phrase, taking a risk. We take risks because we expect some sort of positive result, a result that's worth risking potential harm. So when you're thinking in terms of risk, you're not just thinking about what could go wrong. You're also thinking about what sorts of benefits a risk could bring. Adopting new products, launching new technologies, competing in new markets, acquiring new customers, these are all calculated risks. But they're risks you take to improve. And the success of those risks depends on how you manage them. ISO 9001 often talks about risks and opportunities together, but it's important to note that opportunity is not the positive side of risk. In terms of ISO, an opportunity is a set of circumstances that make it possible to do something. Risk comes from your choice, whether you choose to take that opportunity. And then that risk can have positive or negative consequences. So now let's look at risk assessment. Risk will always play a role in your QMS, but ISO 9001 makes risk management its own formal process. To comply with ISO 9001, you need to have a process for identifying the risks you face. Your employees can provide some essential insight here. They know the specifics of your everyday operations, and often they have the best understanding of the impact a risk might have. And once you've identified your risks, you need to decide what to do about them. ISO 9001 requires you to make a plan to address them. Then, you put that plan into action and assess the results, which leads to another main point about risk-based thinking. Risk-based thinking looks at the current situation and sees possibilities for change. The way you handle risk can actually push your business toward improvement. But to see that improvement, you need to think carefully about the risks you face and create a strategic plan to address them. Not all risks require the same level of response. Having a strategic plan means determining where to spend your time and effort. In general, you're faced with 4 options when it comes to handling risks. First, you could choose to avoid the risk. Some risks are just too risky. You can avoid a risk by putting safeguards in place or by eliminating the source of the risk itself. Second, you can take the risk. This means focusing your efforts to ensure a positive outcome. Third, you can share the risk. Some companies call in external stakeholders to strategically manage the effects of particular risks. And fourth, for low priority issues, you can sometimes simply retain the risk. Essentially, this means inaction. But if you do this, be sure to document the way this risk develops over time. You might not be able to ignore it forever. By considering these 4 options, you can prioritize your efforts, putting time and energy where it's needed most. Those are the essentials of risk-based thinking for ISO 9001. Risk-based thinking is central to the ISO process, but even if you're not ISO certified, you can start benefiting from risk-based thinking right now. Start identifying the risks you face, prioritizing them, and focusing your efforts for the best results. If you want to learn more about ISO 9001 and related standards, you can visit the link in the description for free PDF guides that walk you through the standards step by step and help you explore your certification options. At Core Business Solutions, we are committed to helping small businesses achieve success. So feel free to contact us online or give us a call. We'd love to help you make ISO 9001 simple and effective for your business. If you learned something in this video, give it a like and subscribe to our channel. We are always sharing helpful insights about ISO 9001 and related standards. Thanks for watching.